pulled down. So this is that spring. So this is for the normally closed. So when the coil is not energized, this spring will push the piston back onto the seat. So today we are going to overhaul a solenoid valve, that is the I have removed from the purifier one of the solenoid valve SP1, just to show how to overhaul if we are having a trouble with the solenoid valve. So how to open. So I have removed the electrical connection and I have removed the fixing bolt and I have brought this solenoid here. So first thing, we will remove the coil. So this is the coil, that top part, this is the coil and this is the valve arrangement. After the coil, this is the valve arrangement. So I will remove the coil. So I have removed the coil. Normally we can check the coil also. So normally we do not find any trouble with the coil. So if we have checked it and if it is good, then we can reuse that one. Mostly the trouble is with the valve part. Beneath the coil is a spring, so I will remove that one. Now this is the spindle, inside which is a piston which is lifted by the coil. So whenever the signal is given from the purifier control panel for this particular solenoid, so it magnetizes the piston inside and it lifts up, and because this valve lifts up, so the water is always available here, that will pass on into the operating water side. So if it is a closing water, it will go to the closing water. If it is an opening water, it will go to the opening water through this hole, and the other side is plugged. So whenever the solenoid is energized, it lifts up the valve against the seat, and the water from this side, which is in the pressure, will enter and go into the purifier from this side, whether for operating water or for the sealing water or closing water, right?
Purifiers are the biggest pain in the beep 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 of any fourth engineer. Watch this video till the end because you learn something new. If you trust us, immediately buy a purifier package so that you learn and you have that confidence when you go on board ship as a fourth engineer. If you trust us more, go for fourth engineer excellence package, and this package is going to turn your life around. इसके अंदर वो हर चीज है that a fourth engineer needs to know. Immediately go ahead, buy using purifier 50 coupon code and get flat 50% off on fourth year excellence package. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata Di. Watch the video till the end.
So now we will overhaul this. So before overhauling, we have already marked this one so that we know the position, right? So we know the position, so we have already marked that. You can see we have already marked with the red paint. Now we will remove this. Then we will remove this spring holding down plate. After this, we will remove this cylinder kind of a thing, inside which this piston. So this is a cylinder. Outside this, I'll show you. So the coil, this is the coil, and this cylinder goes into this one, and this is the piston. So this piston is lifted up or down. So when it is energized, the piston is lifted up, and because of that, the valve leaves its valve seat and the water passage is open. And when the coil is de-energized, then because of this spring, if we can see this small spring here, because of this spring force, this piston is again pulled down. So this is that spring. So this is for the normally closed. So when the coil is not energized, this spring will push the piston back onto the seat. So now we will remove this spring. We will remove the piston which is holding the valve. So this comes up with the washer. We will keep. So now, so this is what the solenoid is lifting. So this solenoid is lifting this valve. This is a rubber valve. So this is a rubber valve which presses against the seat because of the spring force. So whenever the solenoid is energized, so this is lifted up and it lifts and it creates a passage here. So the water can flow from one flow to the another. Then we have a washer here and we have a O-ring here to seal the water not coming into the solenoid side. So we as we can see, so this is the O-ring which is sealing. That means it does not allow the water that is coming from here and going towards this side to go towards the solenoid. So this is one of the important O-ring here. Another thing to see is this mechanism. We have all seen that the solenoids can be operated manually also. So this here, so when it is in parallel position, this switch, so this signifies as open. That means now it has manually lifted the piston up and the water from here can exit here. However, when it is in a vertical position, which is a normal position, that time as you can see the spindle is turned. So this is locking this particular solenoid valve onto its seat. So no water can flow from this side to this side when it is in shut position. Only when the coil is energized, then only the valve is lifted, So this is the mechanism how a solenoid valve works. So inside this, if we can see, so now we will have a look at what this valve, where this valve is sitting or where is the valve seat. So now if we can zoom in here, we will see inside there is a small orifice kind of a thing, very small opening, which is your valve seat. So this valve will block that seat. So this valve will block that seat, and when it is lifted, this seat will unblock that valve, and the water from the pressure side through that hole will enter and exit towards the purifier, and then from here it will exit towards the. So this small hole that we can see there is the valve seat. So once the valve is lifted against that seat, water from the inlet or the pressure side will enter into that small hole and exit towards the operating water side or the closing water side. So now let's have a look at the valve which is on the solenoid piston. So when we have a closer look at the valve, we see there is at the center there is this protruding kind of a thing that will go into the hole as we have shown on the seat. So this particularly this thing will seal the if we can see there is a small protruding at the center. So this will seal the water flow, that means this will seal the seat and water flow will be stopped. So now we will assemble. We have already put in the sealing ring or the O-ring which will prevent the water entering towards the solenoid. After that we will put in this washer. So once we have put in the washer, then we will put in the valve. After putting in the valve, there is one more washer here. So I will put in that. Once I have done that, then I have to insert the spring. Make sure that we do not lose this. This is very critical. After that, we will put in the spring cap or the cover. So once we have done this, then we will put the locking plate. And after that we will screw in the 4 screws. So now we will tighten these screws evenly So once we have tightened them firmly, we will operate the solenoid manually, so that we ensure that we have engaged the mechanical operation mechanism. So I will put in the, so now we will test the operation of this solenoid manually. So now in this current position, this is in the shut. That means in when our solenoid is working, that time this lever has to be in the upward direction, that means towards the shut. And when we want to operate this manually, we have to turn it counterclockwise. So first we need to see if it is closing in the shut position. So the pressure water from here should not come from here when this is in the shut position. So I will try with the air. So I am not getting any air. Now I will try to test this in open. So now this solenoid is manually open. Now I will check. So we can see the air, the pressure water from here will come through this when it is manually operated.